Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore the hidden architecture of psychological manipulation. We're not just talking about what it is, but the actual blueprints people use to influence and control so you can spot them, and way more importantly, build up your own defense. So let me just ask you this. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling kind of dizzy, a little confused, off balance, maybe like you just agreed to something you absolutely did not want to agree to? It's this really unsettling feeling, right? Like you were outmaneuvered in a game you didn't even know you were playing.
Well, if any of that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. It is an incredibly common experience, and it's not because you're too sensitive or you misunderstood. Nope, there's a deliberate framework behind that feeling, a whole playbook at work.
And that framework has a name: dark psychology. Now let's be clear, this isn't your everyday persuasion, like a clever ad. We're talking about something different. This is the specific, intentional use of psychology to manipulate and control someone, almost always against their own best interests.
Okay, so how does this actually work? How do they do it? Let's dive into our next section and crack open what you could call the manipulator's playbook. We're going to look at the core tactics, the actual tools of the trade.
I want you to think about it like this. An architect uses blueprints and tools to build a house, right? Well, a manipulator uses psychological tools to construct a version of reality, one that benefits them and only them. Every little tactic is just another brick in that wall.
And the first tool in the toolbox, and honestly, maybe the most powerful, is gaslighting. The entire goal here is to make you doubt your own mind, to get you to question what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. The manipulator wants to replace your reality with theirs, which makes you dependent on them for the truth.
And what's so wild about this is how simple and, well, familiar it can sound. You're just being too sensitive. Or, that never even happened. Come on, have you heard those before? These aren't just dismissive comments. They are weapons. They're strategic attacks designed to chip away at your sense of reality, one conversation at a time.
Another huge one is isolation. The playbook here is pretty straightforward. Cut you off from your support system, from anyone who might give you a reality check. By putting distance between you and your friends, your family, the manipulator makes themselves the center of your world. They become your only source for what's real.
So, here's the thing you absolutely have to understand. These tactics, they don't happen in a vacuum. Gaslighting makes you doubt yourself, right? And then isolation takes away anyone who could back you up. See how they work together? They are interlocking pieces of a much larger blueprint, all built for one single purpose: control.
Okay, so we've seen the playbook, we know the tools, now let's talk about how you can spot the game while it's actually being played. How do you recognize those red flags that, a lot of the time, are hiding in plain sight? Let's run through some of the big ones. Think about someone in your life. Do they always play the victim, somehow twisting every situation so they're the one who's been wronged? Do they have this uncanny radar for your insecurities and seem to use them? How about their compliments? Do they feel genuine or more like a setup for something they want later? And maybe the biggest one, how do you feel around them? If the answer is often guilty, confused, or just drained, that's a huge, flashing warning sign. But you know, when you strip it all away, the most powerful tool you have for detecting this stuff is your gut, your intuition. That little feeling in your stomach that says something is just off. We're so often taught to ignore that feeling, to rationalize it away. But in these dynamics, your gut is your first and best line of defense. You have to trust it. Recognizing the problem is the first half of the battle. But now for the most important part. What do you actually do about it? Let's get into our final section, a practical guide to building a solid defense and, well, cutting those strings.
Look, just understanding this blueprint, knowing the tactics, seeing the red flags, that's a huge foundation. It really is. But knowledge without action, well, it doesn't get you very far. So let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about what you can actually do.
Here is a simple 3-step process you can use right in the middle of a tough moment. Step 1. In your head, name what's happening. Oh, okay. This is gaslighting. Just calling it out to yourself takes away so much of its power. Step 2. Disengage. Just stop. Don't argue. Don't try to prove your point. You're not going to win. Refuse to play the game. And step 3. Set a firm boundary.
And this is a masterclass in what a good boundary sounds like. Just notice, it's not an attack. It's not, "You're a manipulator." It's a statement about your actions. I am not going to discuss this. It's calm, it's clear, it's firm, and it takes back all the control of the conversation.
And that is really what this all boils down to. Your mind, your feelings, your perception of reality, that is your space. And you have every single right to protect it, to be the gatekeeper, to decide who and what gets in. Protecting that space isn't selfish, it's survival.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. You can see the hidden architecture now. You have the blueprint. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it? How will you start to redesign your interactions so they're built not on control, but on a foundation of real, mutual respect? It's a powerful question to think about. Thanks so much for digging into this with us.